Hey everyone, we are working on practice sheet number 20. So the first two questions are the same, so I'm going to look at number 2. You'll do number 1, follow it the same way. So we're going to write an equation of the line. So our two equations are y equals kx and y equals mx plus b. Okay, so remember, this is kind of our first thing that we do, right? So that would be change in y over change in x, delta y over delta x, which will be m. So notice here, these are all negatives, and it's getting more negative. So that means each one is actually getting smaller. Okay, so how much is between here? Count between -8 and -13. And you should get 5. So this is going down by 5. This is going also down by 5 and down by 5. So that is change in y. Over here, change in x. What's that? You're going to put that right here. Okay? That's your job. Now, when I do my equation, I have to figure out which one it is. So I have to see if this goes through 0, 0. So I'm going to follow my pattern backwards. Hopefully you can tell how much this is changing by, and I get to 0. And then here, the difference between here is 5, right? But it's going up when I go in reverse, okay? So this is getting less negative. So when I go back by 5, I should get -3. That's your B, okay? This is not proportional. It does not go through 0, 0. So that is your B. So remember, y equals mx plus b. So y and x stay the same. B is -3. And your job is to put this fraction right in front of the x, because that is your n. Okay? Hopefully you know the answer to number 3. We basically just answered that. Order from least to greatest. So what I would do, again, guys, is, like, I'm going to look here. Notice these are all 4s. I'm going to have a 5 here and a 5 here. I know the square root of 25 is 5, so I do know this is going to be 4 point something. Okay? So these two will be at the end, right? Because 5 is bigger than 4. Okay? So I'm only going to look at the 4s, and I need to put an extra line here. Okay? So again, make that into a decimal, put this in your calculator. Then I have 4.6, I have 4.9. And guys, when you divide this, a half, hopefully you know it by now, half is the same as 0.5. Okay? Now, your job is to make sure the original numbers get in here. Okay? Please make sure the original numbers get into the blanks. Okay? So we have whatever square root of 24 is, that's going to go here. And then you're going to compare these. Okay? Compare those. Right now I can tell this one is the smallest of these 3, and this one is the biggest of these 3, right? Okay, and the 5s will go on the last 2. Okay? Number 5 says you have a square blanket that has an area of 1,600 square inches. So we have a square blanket. That's the area. What is the length of one side? So I need side of a square. Guys, side of a square is this, is the square root symbol, or we use that radical, okay, on our calculator, okay? Number 6, which transformations maintain congruence? So you know they maintain congruence. Most of them maintain congruence, everything but a dilation. If you see a number in front of the variable, then that does not maintain congruence. We want the ones that stay the same size. Okay, so number 7 and 8, guys, just use the formula chart, please. We've got to get used to using this, okay? Notice what I have here. Hopefully you know that is the diameter, okay? Always for area, we need the radius, okay? Take that number and divide by 2, and then you'll get the radius, okay? So I want you to tell me right now, punch it in your calculator, what is your radius, okay? Now I want you to go to your formula chart and copy down the area and circumference formula. Okay, and use the pi key. Please use the pi key. Okay, number 9, a bottle contains 30 fluid ounces of orange juice and 18 fluid ounces of pineapple juice. Which graph has a slope that best represents the ratio of orange juice to pineapple juice? So remember, slope is delta y over delta x, right? These are proportional, so we can also do, if we wanted to, if we need to, we could do y over x, okay? Because if you look, every single one of these is proportional, okay? So I'm going to look, when I look here, the first thing I notice is when it says 18 fluid ounces of pineapple juice, I don't see 18 for the pineapple. These are pineapple right here, right? These are orange juice on all of these. So I want to make sure that I choose the right one, and I'm going to have to like work with these numbers a little bit. So y is going to be orange juice. What is y? 30. What is x then? 18. So I want you to punch that into your calculator and see what you get. Control divide 30 down 18. And you should get 5 over 3. 3 comma 5, right? Because that's y, that's x. So which one of these would show 3 over 5? And if I want to take it to the next one, I could double it, right? 6 comma 10. Which one of these shows that solution? Cross out any that you can tell are incorrect. Number 10, which set of ordered pairs does not represent a function? Okay, so when you have a function, every x has only one y. You do not want to see that x repeating, okay? So when I look at the first one, 3, 5, 4, 6, I don't see any of these being a function. These are, I'm sorry, I don't see any of these repeating, so this is a function. My brain is like not working. That one is a function because the x do not repeat, okay? So if you find one in here where the x's repeat, that's not a function, okay? This one is a function.